Hello guys, welcome to i-tutor Academy. In today's session, we will continue the unit 13 and the subsession is 7, that is resistance to change. So what is resistance to change? Change is inevitable and pace of change is increasing day by day. Consciously or unconsciously, people dislike change and hence they resist the change. Organization issues and individual group resistance to change are normally cited as reason for resisting the change. And organizational issues. Organization do not always undertake individual change initiative as part of the wider change plan. For example, linkage between strategy, structure and system issues have to be established as part of a changed plan. Therefore, a change that considered a new structure but fails to establish the need to introduce new system to support such as change is less likely to succeed. Similarly, lack of effective project management and program management discipline can also lead to a shortfall in timing in achievement of desired outcome and project delivery. Insufficient training in the relevant areas, for example, in project management, leadership skills can also negatively impact on the effectiveness of the change initiative. Poor communication has also been linked to issues surrounding the effectiveness to achieving change in various ways. A change that is imposed and not communicated properly and on time can lead to a greater employee resistance. Finally, the lack of effective leadership has been identified as an inhibitor of effective change. Individual or group resistance to change. Resistance is understood as an expression of reservation which normally arises as a response or as reaction to change. Management often interprets these actions as employees attempting to stop or alter the change. Resistance can take different forms, from subtle undermining of change initiatives, withholding of information, to active resistance like strikes. Resistance can be individual versus collective, passive versus active, direct versus indirect, behavioral versus verbal, and minor versus major. Normally, an organization experiences two broad type of resistance, that is resistance to the content of change and resistance to the process of change. In addition, the other reason for resistance are listed below according to Ferguson and Green, that is on 2001. A number of factors causes resistance to change in an organization. They are: first one is the fear of unknown. People resist because of the fear of what is in store for them. Due to the uncertainty about the nature of change, one does not know what is in store for him in future and what exactly would happen in the current situation. And next is loss of control. The loss of control change is directed towards an individual, group or organization. When it is directed towards the individuals have very less or no say in the process and the intervention directed to them. The fear of no control on the event that are unfolding makes people resist change. And next is loss of face. Employees feel embraced as a result of change to realize that what they have done in the past was wrong and that organization intervened to change those wrong action or decisions. Next is loss of competency. When changes are attempted, the existing skills and competencies will no longer be used, thus making the people think that they have no put in a lot of effort and hard work to learn new skills and competencies in the changed situations. And next is need for security. Security is one of the important concern for every employee. That very fact that change is taking place in the organization causes a concern in the mind of the people about their position, status, role, etc. Next is poor timing. Since change is a continuous process, organization initiate and implement changes continually. The very fact that one has to get into change mode again after a recent change causes employees to think about the timing of change that take place in the organization. And next is loss of the comfort zone, and next is lack of support is there, lack of confidence is there, and lingering resentment is there. Okay, in addition, studies have also cited political factors like favoritism, management factor like a poor management style, individual factors like personality factors, group factors like a group cohesive herd mentality, and organizational factors like increased workload, unknown challenges, etc. are some other reason for resisting change in organizations. Okay, and the next one is strategies to overcome resistance. Organization are different strategies to overcome the resistance to change. They are, first one is normative re-educative strategy. This approach believes that changing the norms, attitudes, and values of the individual will lead to changes in their behavior. It is based upon targeting their core belief, values, and attitudes. It is expected that change will occur as individuals change their beliefs, values, and attitudes, which makes them behave differently and accept the change. And next is rational empirical strategy, and their power coherence coercive strategy and action centered strategy is there. These are the four strategies for that. And this organization use different strategies which are used as appropriate in the different stages of change process. In addition, organization also use certain techniques to improve the acceptability of change, facilitating easy transformation and continuous learning through change, effective communication, the power of informal structure, understanding the rationale for change are all a few techniques that organization use to seek the support of the employees in the process of change management. And next section is forms of organizational change. Organizational experience evidence a number of ways in which organization embraced change. Some of the popular form of organizational changes are, first one is organizational design and restructuring. Organizational design reflects the structural aspect of organization. It leads to the development of organizational structure with the interrelated tasks, positions, units, and relations. Next one is the structure defines the way tasks are formally divided and grouped and coordinated. Organization follow different structure, but currently due to the COVID pandemic and virtually organizational structures are being used. The IT industry is an excellent example of this structure which allow lot of flexibility in its operation. And next is turnaround management is there. Management of change is and will continues to be natural concern for most organization in India. Due to various factors, both internal and external like global competition, technological change, customer awareness, economic factors have demonstrated issues of a diverse nature. Further, the process of industrialization has resulted in individual sickness which had to be turned around. Okay, and the nature and urgency of the situation is influenced by key parameters which include the ownership structure of the company, the urgency of the crisis, whether the company must radically cut costs, and the management team in place, whether the turnaround management would be the CEO or not, whether he is assisted by an able team, and the degree of freedom given to him, and the time available to decide on priorities or actions, and the suitability of network or tools used. Okay, and some of the classical example included Chrysler Corporation and General Motors. When Chrysler sold its defense division, the CEO of the Chrysler, Lee Iacocca, did a turnaround situation and claimed profit to the company. And the next one is mergers and acquisition. One of the successful way of meeting the contingencies of organization is restructuring. The current restructuring modes all over the world appears to be the phenomena of mergers and acquisition. And historically, mergers and acquisition could be traced the American business. A number of waves of merger activity occurred in the US, which evoked major activity and impacted the structure of American business, transforming medium size business to huge multinational corporations. And three types of mergers are evident. A horizontal merger occurs when two competitors combine. The HP and Compaq merger is a classic example of the horizontal merger. Vertical merger are combination of companies that do not compete but exist in the same supply chain and have a buyer-seller relationship. Any automobile company acquiring a company which sells auto parts to it can be example for a vertical merger. And next is business process re-engineering is there. Improving the business process is a paramount for business to stay in competition. This has become a common trend in the last 2 decades. And next is total quality management, that is TQM is there. TQM is a management philosophy that seeks to integrate all organizational functions to focus on meeting customer need and organizational objectives. And outsourcing is there. Outsourcing or contracting out is often defined as a delegation of non-core operations or job from internal production with a business to an external entity or who specialized in the operation. And this is about today's session, and the next section of unit 13 we will discuss on next video. So please tune for that. And you have any doubts, you can message on our number also, and just pinpoint in comment box also. Okay, so thank you for today's session.